Hello and welcome to Part of the Interception, Season 37, Week 5, with your hosts, myself, Lee Leewood.
Nick Taylor.
Wood.
Let's take a look at what's happened around the leagues this week, paying special attention to Nick's games of the week, if we can remember what the hell they were.
I can't remember what they are because it's felt like a long time since we did our last one. I'm going to guess it was the Hulk race because that just feels like the kind of... I have a feeling it wasn't, though. It was a good game.
Good game. Good game.
Good game. Lovely smashing super. Look at what you could have won.
I mean, it's the game that stands out, right?
It is the one that stands out, yeah. So,
Some of
9
you
points.
can't go to school with Bruce.
Bruce? No, probably. Stars 1, Blades 1, Steelers lost again. Beach Breakers are still undefeated.
Disgusting.
Weren't too many close games this week, actually. Did well there, Simon, this week. Yeah, like lots of one-sided games in general by the feel of things. So I imagine was it the week last week where everyone was playing, like top twos were playing and stuff, so we probably got a bit more of the top versus bottom and stuff like that going on this week.
Yeah. Have a look at the old standard-roonies.
And that's probably backed up by the 3-5-0 team, well, 4-5-0 teams being 2 wins ahead now.
Yeah, it's always going to put a little bit of a dampener on things, but the NFC North is looking interesting with 2 4-1 teams. NFC West 2 4-1 teams.
NFC East could be anyone's.
I think Tim's taking the piss.
I think Tim's taking the piss.
That's disgusting.
What, with minus 187?
He's trying to take. No, it's his opponent's points scored. He's trying to outdo me.
209.
But I was winning on that metric.
Not anymore.
Oh no, it's disgusting.
Oh, you need to play against the rates more.
True. Well, I saw what the Angels were doing, and I was like, "Get me some of that."
Yeah, the NFC looks kind of shaping up like it's Rockets, Lightning, Circle, Witchcraft, Emperors, and then whoever wins the NFC East at the moment.
Yep.
Wildcats with 3 divisional wins puts them in the driving seat as well, even it and the game ahead, of course. So they've essentially got 2 games ahead, which helps massively. AFC, the wildcard spots are quite open though.
Yeah, very hotly contested as well.
Yeah, we've got 5 teams on 3 and 2 for the 2 spots. So yeah, an interesting run-in on that front. Gary Stevens is not doing well this season.
Gary fucking Stevens, no. 0-5 going for the Hergadoga Bowl.
So, there's quite a few 0-5 teams. Was it 5? Yeah. A few teams out gunslinging the gunslingers.
Yeah. So, Nick, what's your game of the week if we go back to the listings?
I actually have no idea this week. No idea at all. It's not a good game. It's definitely not Gunslingers Rind Race, I can tell you that much.
Yep.
So many close games. We've got... No, I actually have no idea.
Fair enough.
Let's pick something random. Dodgers Armadillos. There we go.
Dodgers Armadillos. Done.
Sweet.
Bam.
Table game. Dodgers need to win it to keep in contention. There we go. That'll do.
On to the Atlantic.
We'll have forgotten by next week. Don't worry.
That's just the level of professionalism we have.
Yeah.
A good win for the Scorps.
I think the surprising result this week was the Tigers beating the Kings, right? Like, I did not expect that to happen.
After the result last week for the Tigers, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then
the Stingrays beating the Warriors, are we surprised by that one?
No, but the
no.
Stingrays should have beaten by a lot more.
Yeah.
That
I see the Sandbaggers won again.
I mean, the other big result is the Generals beating the Heroes at the Heroes.
Yeah.
I think that division is like pretty interesting. Barbarians beat the Stallions away as well, so Stallions haven't been doing well this season, but they've been competitive enough. So, but it puts the Heroes way behind now.
I love to see the CFC East as messed up as ever.
CFC East is where it's at. Got 2 teams in the playoffs at the moment.
We're gonna go like 2 8-2s or something, just to try to really confuse us.
The weird thing in the CFC is like there's only 2 teams on 3-2, which doesn't feel like a lot, and they're in the same division. So, be interesting to see where it ends up. But I actually think the 6 teams in the playoff spots are probably the 6 teams making the playoffs at the moment.
So Magpies, Barbarians, Generals, Stingrays, Avalanche, Stampede, right?
I think you've missed out the Scorpions there. So
that's because Scorpions will be 5-5 by the end of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll still make it in. Be fine. I don't know. I think like the CFC West just beats up on one another too much. That's the problem they have.
That's true. That's always been true.
Like we got Stampede have got Anacondas this week at Anacondas. So as we know, Stampede can never win away games. And then they've still got like Comets, Generals, and Avalanche to play. So like I can't really see the Stampede making the playoffs with that run. I think the Anacondas are in a better position. If they win this week, they've got Sonics, Barbarians, which is a tough one. Generals is a tough one, and Sharks, but that's like sort of 7-3 territory. So I think they've got a pretty reasonable chance on that front. The only other team, I guess, is like it feels like the Kings could go on a run, but just seem to struggle.
It feels like they could,
yeah,
but they won't.
They are away to the Magpies, which is like super tough, and they've got the Stingrays this week. So I think that just like backs up how tough the schedules are or how tough it feels like the schedules are this season. I think
looking at the MFC, I think I can call the playoffs based off of. I think this is a similar where the 6 teams in the playoff berth are probably making the playoffs from here.
Yeah, I think like the only slot that's potentially up for it is whether the MFC East, whether both those teams make it through. But then like you're probably looking at Mariners and Redcoats as the challengers for that. I know that's obvious because they're the 3-2 teams, but I can't really see anyone else doing anything this season. So that's how tough are their schedules. Can't imagine they're too difficult. Blues have Avalanche and Snow Bears, and they've got to play the Comets.
That's a pretty tough schedule.
It's relatively tough, yeah. Comets have got Stampede, Rapiers, Spartans, Blues, so that's pretty tough as well. So
Rapiers not so much.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, still stuck in last season. The Rapiers still have a positive.
It's this weird thing that I don't know if the Rapiers are doing a rebuild and you playing rookies more, but you would have expected them to be in a stronger position than they are.
Yeah, I mean, like, was it the Aztecs they lost to? That was the point where you sort
I
of go,
think
maybe
it's a
they've given
tactical
up.
choice.
Yeah, I think that was. I mean, the best thing the Rapiers can do is maybe their team is good and they're just going for a softer schedule next season. That is entirely possible. I guess what's the Red Coat schedule like? Meerkats, Stingrays, Brockton, Mariners, Outlaws. Red Coast could make a run for the playoffs, I reckon. That week 9 game against yourself could be an interesting one. I mean, your schedule doesn't look too bad.
No, I think I've played Bricks twice, which is my only hard in division game, I think.
Yeah, you've got them to play, and you've got
I've still got them to play once, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got Magpies to play, so
I played Nighthawks twice, that's it.
yeah. So I think there's a spot open there. I think the blue schedule is tough enough that someone could come through, but
so
might be a fairly boring Atlantic. Although I might struggle. One of my wide receivers picked up a big injury, so it's rough times.
What's your game of the week, Mr. Nick?
I didn't know what I was going to. Well, Stampede Anacondas is probably my game of the week.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So
on to the big sky.
Big and in the sky.
Quick check to see if the world has gone topsy-turvy.
No, never. Let down by Gary fucking Stevens.
Gary fucking
He scored
Stevens.
37 points. I mean,
yeah, but the Rivet scored 56.
I know. It's not many close games this week so far.
Massive Buccaneers.
It's like, I guess there's 3 games here.
Generals,
within 3
Chargers.
points, something like that. So, but
I think they're mostly mid-table games.
yeah, I think this week is, as I say, because last week was so good for games and how close teams were. This
Yeah,
week sort of
it's going to be
bigger gaps between the teams.
I'm looking forward to week 9 already.
Week 9.
Bay Packers Rivets.
BBP versus the Rivet.
Come on, Tom Watt.
You what?
You what?
You what? You what? Do what? Do
you what, Tom Watt?
I think the top teams in the PFC might well just be pretty locked for the playoffs already.
Maybe not the Generals, but
no, but
the Eagles are very close to locked.
Yeah, I mean, because of all their divisional records, it's gonna be like tough to overturn those. Like even the Generals have a 3-0 in division record, so it's a tough one.
Continuing to win. This is good.
Yeah, I guess the LFC is like what Phoenix, Fire, Giant Hornets, Rhinos, Weasels, and then whoever fancies taking the LFC West.
Yep.
Which looks like the Sharks at the moment. But
who wants to actually win?
It's like, I don't know. I don't know how we've got into this position where lots of these. We need some upsets this week. That's what we need.
Yeah, want some upsets. Nick, what's your game of the week?
Bombers Rivets?
Exactly. The Bombers are going to beat the Rivets this week. That's it. That's what's going to happen.
Nick's been smoking the weed that Snoop Dogg has quit.
The 0-5 Bombers are going to beat the 5-0 Rivets.
With that craziness, we'll move on to
it would be justice. It would be utter justice.
It'd be great. I'd love it.
Would it be the equivalent? Would it be the equivalent of like the WWE superstar who gets to hand over the reins to a team? Conrad's just going to choose an 0-5 team to lose his unbeaten streak against. Just hand it off to someone who's having a dreadful season.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, the Bombers have scored a total of 7 points this season, so it's going to have to be some effort.
See, you say that, and then we look at the Bombers in the Continental, who scored 0 points this week. So,
I don't know. The game of the week has to be the Rivets. We just live in hope that they will lose.
There is one very interesting game here, something we don't see often.
Is it the Hangers Angels because they didn't score a lot of points compared to normal?
No,
75 points is pretty low for them.
it is low for them. I will agree.
I'd had the over on that for sure.
Yeah. No, the 10-10 tie. How often do we see a proper, honest to God tie?
Very rarely. Very rarely. There's a few zeros knocking around.
Yeah, quite a few goose eggs.
Zulus and Badgers getting big wins.
Continental's trying to upset us.
Huh?
Continental's trying to upset us with some, rubbish games. The Trojans are trying to upset us, Disgusting. Win the helmet.
Aren't they like 0-5?
Yeah,
Have
best helmet in the league.
19 points.
Awful record.
The UFC North is looking interested. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. 0-5.
And all their divisional records are 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
It's a spicy meatball. That is probably as entertaining as it's going to get, right? One of those divisions.
I know. What's Angels Park Bombers this week? That's what I call entertaining.
The
Bombers are not doing so well this season though.
Timberwolves stat line has a lot of ones in the middle of it. 3 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 6.
66056. That is a lot of ones.
Simon's buggered off to do something. Meh. We'll continue on without him.
The RFC side of things looks pretty exciting for the wildcard race.
Yeah, the wildcard race does look good.
4 teams out in front with a bunch of teams behind, including a few withdrawals. So be entertaining. I guess UFC side of things is sort of similar. There's the problem is all those 3 and 2 teams are in the same division, so they're going to beat on each other. I guess you've got Venom and Destruction knocking around as well, but it's the most interesting league we've seen so far, I think.
Yeah.
So.
On to the game of the week for the Continental League.
Game of the week. Is it? Give me a second. No, it's not. Disappointing. Venom Thunder looks pretty good.
Venom Thunder has been declared. On to the Deltoid. Bam.
You lost, Simon. What's going on?
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
If you did you lose both Simon balls?
No, BA.
You split the Simon.
The only Simon ball that counts is the one I win. Those are the rules.
Big loss for the Cougars.
Big loss for the Cougs.
Got some well behind now, right?
Mm-hmm. Lee's favourite team just carries on winning.
49 is going. 49 is going.
Fairly big win for the Warriors as well, because it's a game they had to win, right?
Yes.
That might have been our game of the week. I can't even remember.
It was actually, the Chaos Warriors game, I'm pretty sure, was game of the week.
It delivered for you, Nick.
Yeah. Close one. Darners, Snorefest.
Cyclones beating the Hornets is quite the upset.
Cyclones, Hornets.
Cyclones are 0-4, Hornets were 4-0.
Your division is none of them really want to win, do they? I think you said this before.
Oh, we always know it's just expert. We're expert losers, but someone has to win. That's what's always, that's the challenge.
What happened to the Jets this week?
I was out game planned and outplayed. Simple as. Monarchs found a hole in my defense, and I only just beat them in the reverse fixture. So
fair enough. This one looks more exciting. It's only GFC side of things. 1-5-0 team. 3-4-1 teams. Everyone else battling out. Is there a chance we have no Cougars and no Lone Stars in the playoffs? It's
Not impossible. It is not impossible.
The FC side of things, we've got 3 out front by a considerable margin. And everyone else is battling out for the wildcard spots.
Yeah, I think the Titans are hard pressed not to take the VFC South because they're 2 games ahead in the divisional.
Yeah, I mean, if they were a game ahead in wins, then I'd say yes. But now he takes Monarchs or Jets to be a win ahead of them. So
yeah, it's not going to be me. My entire team basically got injured this week.
That's not so good.
No.
Interestingly, like the Patriots have lost 3 games this season, and they've all been divisional games.
Yeah. I think if they had to play the Sunblazers twice.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to play for in the Delta. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, actually a little bit open this season. So what's the game of the week, Nick?
Oh, I know what I want to go for, but whether there's a better game, probably not. I think we're going for Monday Night Football.
The Robber Barons at Corpus Christi.
Well, yeah, like Cougars need to win, right? Stay in it. So, gotta go with that one.
It's just ignoring the Hornets venom, you know.
I mean, Plague 49ers is probably a better game, but you know.
Also true.
A
Lot of better game.
Slightly off piste with my game of the weeks this week, so we'll see what happens.
On to the Empire.
Boise lost.
Boise, what are you doing to us? Rough.
Yeah. So our Cubed lost as well.
That's what our Cube do. They raise my hopes and dash them every week.
Big win for the Griffins.
Big statement win. Yeah.
I expect them to win that game, but still putting points on the board, doing the business. Kings win, so helps them in their sort of turbulent season so far. It's a good win for the Tigers actually against the Tomahawks as well. Makes that division very interesting. There's quite a few interesting divisions. You've got PFC East, BFC North, BFC West. All with
interest. Yeah, nice, interesting, close divisions.
Yeah. PFC South's not bad. And like you've got even the other divisions as a 5-0 and a 4-1 team. So could easily change. Blue Moon looked pretty good this season. So we've got what, like four teams that are probably going to make it in the BFC, and everyone else. Well, then whoever wins the 2 height divisions goes through, and then like PFC, we've got 3 teams through, and then a bit of a battle for everything else. I think the Kings probably are still good enough to make the playoffs. I actually have no clue who's going to win the PFC South, though.
Whoever wants it the most.
Yep.
So, what's your game of the week?
Well, Jacksonville High Hunters at Blue Moon, or Blue Moon at Jacksonville High Hunters, should I say? My game.
I'd agree with that.
Should be a good one.
Okay. Anything else before we draw this to a close?
No.
9.
With that, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.